Hello, everybody. It's Dr. Rick dropping in on you. Hope everybody has had a great week to this point. I hope the things that you are striving to accomplish are within your grasp or close to being reached. I want you to um, really and truly focus on these things. I want you to really and truly uh, envision these things, but I want you to also understand that even if you're not where you think you should be, even if you're not where you feel you ought to be at this moment, that if you're still breathing, you are still in the fight. Don't you give up. Don't you give in. Don't quit. I'm going to be very brief with this. Brief with you this morning. I want to talk to you about the importance of resilience. I want to talk to you about the importance of intentional growth. And all of this is a part of achieving something extraordinary, something phenomenal, something spectacular in your life. You were not designed to be average. You were not designed to be mediocre. You were not designed to simply exist. You were not designed to survive. Now, I'm not telling you there won't be challenges in your life. I'm not telling you that there won't be ups and downs. No matter what level you achieve in life, you're going to face challenges. You're going to face disappointing moments. You're going to face times that you're looking at yourself and you don't have the answer. But I want to remind you today that you are built for this. I want to remind you today that there's absolutely nothing you're going to face in this life that you're not built for. The way that God designed this universe is that when you encounter something, you have already been through the things that prepared you for it. You didn't understand it then. I tell people all the time that when you discover your purpose, it will explain your pain. You will start to understand why some of the things in your life happen. But the problem is so many people are obscured from their purpose. So many people are literally divided and separated from their passion. So many people are left to simply focus on what's wrong in their life, and then we become literally programmed to see what's wrong, and so we never see the answer. We never see the solution. We never see the possibilities. We never gain a true uh idea of what's possible in life. Everything is about possibilities. When you start to see the possibilities, your brain literally starts to become programmed through this process called neuroplasticity, where it starts to develop new ideas about what's possible. You start to shift paradigms. You start to move out of the idea of just surviving. I just got to make it. I'm just trying to get through here. One of the things that when I'm speaking to Christian believers, one of the things that I consistently point out is we've got to move out of a mindset of just getting through this life to get to heaven. We're so heavenly minded that we're missing our point of being here. We're not here just to get somewhere. We're here to leave an impression. We're here to make an impact. I tell people when I'm speaking, I tell people a lot that the first half of my life was about me. It was about me showing people what I could do. It was about me proving that I could have this and do that and go there and look at me. And then I realized somewhere in my mid 30s that all this stuff that I was accumulating wasn't bringing me any fulfillment. I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning like clockwork, pacing a house that it didn't bring me anywhere close to the fulfillment I thought it would. Looking out and staring into the front of the house, into the drive, and looking at what's out there and seeing that that stuff isn't doing it, and walking around and just looking and going, what is this life about? If you can get all this stuff and not be happy. See, the thing is, life isn't about things. Life is about fulfillment. And what I had to realize after talking to my mentor was until I stepped into my purpose and until I start fulfilling my destiny, until I started walking in my purpose, it was nothing wrong with the things. They just could not give me what the deep hole inside of my soul was demanding. And that was that my purpose be activated and that I start to walk in that purpose and fulfill the destiny associated with it, that lives begin to change because I exist, because people start to believe because I exist, because people start to feel the nudge of possibility because I came into their existence. I wasn't put here just to exist. I wasn't put here just to fill my bank account in my driveway. I was put here to touch lives, and no matter matter what I bought, I couldn't shake that emptiness. And then I started to live for my legacy. Life became about what I was going to leave behind because I couldn't take any of those things. But what would I leave behind that people will remember? People won't remember what you drove 10 years ago. But if you touch their life, if you give them a glimmer of hope, and when people show up at speaking engagements, when people show up on different podcasts in the comment section, when people show up on these videos that I do, and they tell me, look, 6 years ago, I was about to give up, and I came across this video or that video. 2 years I was on the verge of committing suicide, and I came to one of your conferences, and then you inspired me. Those things tell me my imprint is being made, that my legacy is being built, that my great grandchildren's grandchildren will know of me because of the lives I changed and the people I touched and the impact I had. There's no amount of money, there's no house big enough, there's no beautiful car, no matter how luxurious, that can touch the impact of leaving a legacy that speaks of you long after you're gone. But what you got to understand is there's a process of getting there. My morning mantra is no 0 days, no excuses. I wake up every day and the goal is to intentionally grow. What you intentionally set out to do has power. It sets the state of your mind, your mind state. It sets the course of your expectations. It demands a certain standard from you. When you move intentionality into the process, the universe is designed by God to respond to it. A part of faith is intentional. It's not just saying I believe, it's intentionally moving towards you what you believe as if you believe it. See, a lot of people, they'll talk about it, but I can look at their actions and tell that they're not really there. Because see, I can't say that God, as I see God, and I'm not telling you how to see God right now, but I'm telling you that you've got to connect with something bigger than you, or this life is going to toss you to and fro, up and down and inside, and turn you inside out. God, as I said, is a benevolent God that I have access to. This God is omniscient. This God is omnipotent. This God is omnipresent. And that means that I'm always with God. God has the power to solve any situation, and I have access to the answers and the solutions that are there. So what does that mean? There's no time that I have fear. Why? Because I have the answer. There's no time that I'm anxious, because I have the answer. Doesn't mean I don't get disappointed. It doesn't mean that I don't have setbacks and frustrations. What it means is I have a 90-second rule. It started out as a 24-hour rule, and I realized I didn't need 24 hours to wallow in misery. I didn't need 10 minutes to wallow. I got 90 seconds to feel something, get upset about it, maybe throw something or whatever. But after 90 seconds, it's time to put in the work. After 90 seconds, it's time to hunker down. After 90 seconds, it's time to sit up and go get it. A problem that I see consistently is most people aren't willing to go the distance. It's one of my favorite quotes from the movie Lawless. It's from the movie Lawless. And it simply says that it's not the violence that sets a man apart. It's the distance he is prepared to go. It's about the distance you're prepared to go. How resilient are you? How committed are you? Don't you dare quit because you had a setback. Don't you dare quit because you failed this time. And yeah, failing is going to happen. It's a part of the process. This whole idea that failing is not an option is setting a lot of people up for failure, because you're going to have moments where it doesn't work out. You're going to have moments where you don't hit the mark. The goal is to get up and learn from what you didn't get right and do it better next time. The goal is to learn from the wrong alliances you make, so that you make better choices in building your circle, because your circle is going to determine your level of elevation. You're going to literally be an average of the 5 people you spend the most time around. That influence of social influence that we totally ignore has so much to do. Think about the people you spend the 5 people you spend the most time around. Think about what their income is. Think about where they live. Think about what they like to do. And you're almost identical. And you think, well, we all say because we like. No, you have been influencing one another. And if somebody doesn't take the lead and say we need to strive and do more, you'll be happy with where you're at, and you'll move along at the same pace. If you want to expedite your growth, you got to find people that are ahead of you. You got to find people that are doing more than what you've done and have done what you're trying to do or something similar. You got to look at people that are elevated that are going to pull you towards them. Association brings about assimilation. If I hang around you long enough, I begin to act like you. I need to find people I want to act like. I want to find people I want to be like. I want to find people that can influence me in a positive situation. I'm going to get rid of the negative influences. I'm going to get rid of the minimal-minded people that cannot see my dream. I'm going to get rid of the minimal-minded people who can only whisper the sweet nothings of negativity into my mind because they have nothing to add. I'm not saying I'm dodging constructive criticism. I need people to tell me when I'm off. I have people in my circle whose sole responsibility is to tug on my coattail and tell me I'm out of line. Why? Because I need accountability. I don't have yes men in my camp or yes women just that'll stroke my ego. I know who I am. I don't need you to stroke my ego. What I need you to do is hold me accountable to do some things that neither of us have done in our lifetimes are seen done, and we're capable of doing it and step up and do it. But what you can't do is quit. What you can't do is give up. What you can't do is sit around and expect life to hand you what you want just because you want it. This entire sense of entitlement that we have, that we've passed down to an entire generation of youth, maybe 2 generations, that literally think just because I want it, I should have it. And I don't have to invest anything. I don't have to put my energy, effort, time, money, resources, and trust into building something that shows I really truly deserve it. I want something that I haven't earned. We've got to get out of that. We're going to have to make up in our mind that we're going to stand firm on a square that we decide to choose, and we're going to defend, fight for, and push for, and build on top of that square. I didn't have a good start. I want to share this with you and then I'm done. I didn't have a good start, but I had parents who had faith and saw in me what I wasn't old enough to see in myself, nurtured it, and demanded more of me than was being demanded of my peers. I wasn't better than them. I just had a different standard placed on me. I had a different level of expectation because I saw possibilities. I tell people all the time, I'm not better than anybody. My performance, my achievements, the companies I've started, the multiple books I've written, I'm releasing book number 28 this month. That all of the other things, the traveling, the lecturing, all the things that I can sit up and say are part of my legacy, the beautiful children I have, and all of this stuff is a result of me simply saying there's something better and I want it, and I'm going to put in the work. I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to grow myself. I'm going to challenge myself. I'm going to move in a way that allows me to touch my dream. And that's what I did. I have created resources to help people. This is what I do on a global level. Is literally I have clients in the UK. I have clients in Sweden, Switzerland, South Africa, Perth, Australia, Melbourne, Australia. I have them in Canada. I have them all over the United States. And it starts with simply saying, you know what? I'm rebuilding on the internet. It hasn't been easy. There's been ups and downs. But what I'm telling you is the fact that I didn't quit is how I've won. And every time I get ready to go for something, it's a challenge. And I'm prepared to what? Go the distance. It's the distance he is prepared to go. She is prepared to go. If you're not willing to go the distance, the thing that you have put in your mind that will stop you, you will encounter. Let me say that again. Whatever it is that you're saying, I'll do it as long as this don't happen, that's going to happen. That's why you have so many people starting and stopping things and not following through, because the thing they fear the most shows up. Let me tell you, I saw homelessness. The thing I feared more than anything in my life. I fought like hell, built something I thought would always protect me from homelessness, got to a pinnacle that I never thought I'd get to, and still found a way to end up homeless. But what I didn't do is quit. What I didn't do is go, oh, woe is me. See, pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. I could have sit up and said, look what happened to me. I could have played the victim card. I could have looked for people to blame. I took accountability for making some decisions I shouldn't have made, for being more arrogant than I should have been, for being in people and having people in my circle that didn't mean me good. I started to rebuild. And this time I decided I was going to rebuild on the internet. At the time, it wasn't anywhere where it is now, but I could see this is going somewhere. Wasn't no AI. Facebook was a baby and everything else. But I said, this is going somewhere. And I started to build. I started to do writing. I started to do description excerpts for companies in the UK. First Choice Lighting. If you go to First Choice Lighting in the UK, all of that stuff on their site, I did the descriptions for. Just determined that I would not fall. So there's never a point in my life, no matter where I'm at, no matter what time I am, I feel defeated. If I'm still breathing, I'm still in the fight. Because I know what happens when you stay, when you refuse to quit. It's resilience. My one word is relentless. When people ask me, what's the one word that describes the reason why you have been able to do the things you've been able to do? Relentless. It's not smart. It's not intellectual. It's not degrees on the wall. It's none of those things. Having those things is good. It opens doors for different things in different places. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to kill me to stop me. Once I make up in my mind that I'm going to have something, there's no time limit. Now, I have time goals. I'm not going to quit because it didn't happen in a year. I'm not going to quit because it didn't happen in 5. I've had things I've worked on for 10 plus. Why? Because I don't quit. And I can tell you, for the things that took longer than I thought, the reward was greater than I sought. Let me say that again. For the things that took longer than I thought, the reward was greater than I sought. So what I initially was looking for to come back was tenfold because I waited longer. I fought longer. I was more faithful and committed to getting what it was I said I wanted. You quit too easy. You turn back too quick. You are looking for excuses. You got plan B, C's, D's, E's, and F's. I've been asked multiple times by different people, do you have a plan B? No, I have variances of plan A, but plan A is to get this. And I'm not stopping until I get this. I'm not going to say, well, since this is so hard to get, I'm going to just go get this. No, because here's what happens. Plan B is always there because it's not really what you want, but it's not as difficult to get as plan A. Plan C is there because it's even easier to get to than plan B. Most people end up around plan C. But you're going to always default and you're never going to have what's behind door number 1, plan A. Why? Because you're going to always go to the easier plan when things get hard. There's no move from me. It gets hard, I hunker down. It gets hard, I get more forceful. It gets hard, I pray harder. It gets hard, I sit down and I meditate harder. It gets hard, I speak stronger. I am not going to quit until I get what I'm going after, or I'm going to die trying. That's the thing that you've got to get in your mind. It's not outside of your grasp. It's not outside of your reach. It's outside of your commitment. Oh, we don't want to hear that. We don't want to face that challenge, but it's outside of your commitment. Let's just be real. If you don't have it, and if you're giving up on it, it was outside of your commitment, not outside of your reach. It may have taken longer. It may have been more of a grueling task. It may have been even at times mundane and trying, but I'm telling you, if you stay the course, if you don't give up, if you don't give in, if you don't quit, if you become relentless, nothing can be withheld from you. I don't have all the answers. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I got things that I look back and wish I wouldn't have done, but I did them. And so I overcome them. I stand up and say, you know what? I'm built for this. There's not a day that goes by that I don't intentionally find a way to touch somebody's life. And it doesn't matter what I'm going through. Man, in the last 2 years, I've lost my marriage. I've lost my younger brother. I've lost my mother. I've had setbacks in business. And yet every day I wake up and I go find somebody to bless. Why? Because that's a part of my responsibility. And nothing lifts your spirit like touching somebody else. And you don't have to tell nobody. You don't have to make it big, this big announcement. Look what I did. And I go do it because the spirit that I touched started healing. This is the power. But guess what happened when that spirit started to heal? The pain that I felt started to heal. This is the power we have to touch lives. It's the universe operating in reciprocity. It's the universal law of reciprocity. You can call it sowing and reaping. You can call it karma. But what you put out comes back, and it's not just the negative stuff. Find a way to be a blessing. Find a way to commit. And what happens is you start to develop a mindset of gratitude. And when you start to develop a mindset of gratitude, you start to see the gates of abundance open. Gratitude is the gateway to abundance. Look, I'm going to get ready to get off of here, but I had to stop by and tell you, don't you dare quit. This is the day. This is the year of no surrender, no retreat, no 0 days, no excuses. This is what we do. This is what you do. It's time to wake up and go get it. It's time to become invested. It's time to find your way to what's possible. Every year, I help people go places they never thought they could in their lives. And many times I've done it while taking major beatings in my own. But guess what? When they ascend, the spirit and the force behind them lifts me. That's the power. Don't stop giving because you're hurting. Don't stop loving because you're hurting. Don't stop touching because you're hurt. Touch more when you're hurt. Give more when you're hurt. I'm not saying put yourself out in a place that puts you in harm's way, but what I'm saying is don't let your dark moments dry you up. I'm telling you from experience. Touch somebody. They need to be touched. Don't do it in a grandiose way. Do it in a way that they know this is just about you and them. And they can tell and sense in their spirit, this is bigger than the moment. This is not a coincidence. I stopped believing in coincidences a long time ago. I started to see every moment as something that's meant to be. And in that moment, there's something that is needed of me. And when I give out, it comes back. I don't sit around counting and taking tabs. I just watch it flow in at the most inconceivable times, the times I'm sitting up and I'm not thinking about it. Bam. Again, I'm not special. I'm just somebody that's tapping into a part of God's plan in a way that so many people have not even attempted to explore. It's time to put your faith to work. Look, on that note, look, I'm going to get ready to get out of here. I really and truly hope that it blesses you. Look, in the description box, there are a couple of things that you can take advantage of right now. One is working with me directly for a limited time until tomorrow, or until 10 people take advantage of it. You can literally look at the one-on-one packages I offer, and you can get whatever package you get, you're going to get the upgrade to the next package. That's for tomorrow until tomorrow at midnight, or until 10 people do it. If you can sign on, that means that you still are eligible. Also, you can get the Mind Unleashed course. You can also get the 7-day online business launch course if you're trying to work on your finances and you need multiple streams of income. I show you the very blueprint I've used online to build this thing and do the things I've done over the last 14 years now. That 7-day online business launch course plays for itself. Then if you really want to go in and actually take an in-depth comprehensive course in step-by-step wealth building, the A through Z, from the big guys. This isn't me. This is the guys that I contacted that are the A1 hitters. Your Warren Buffett, your Ray Dalios, your David Swinsons. These guys are people that it took me years. It took me 10 years to build that course, because it took me 10 years to chase these people down and get them to hear me and answer me. Once I got in front of them, I couldn't shut them up. But obviously, you just don't call these people and get in front of them. But persistence, again, Once I decide I'm going to get something, I'm going to either get it or die trying. And so I'm telling you, there's nothing I've gone after that I haven't got or that I can't see is almost there. And that's the thing I want you to get. So again, all of that stuff is in the description box. If you feel like you want to do it, do it. If not, it's on you, but you're going to have to start taking steps. You're going to have to start investing in yourself. You're going to have to start building something. It's not just going to fall into place. It's going to take you applying yourself. But once you start applying yourself, the universe cannot resist you. It will literally conspire with you to bring you the things that you desire. If it's good and if it blesses you and if it blesses others, the universe will bring it to you. But you have to participate in your own elevation. On that note, look, I'm out of here. May God bless you. May God keep you. As I always say, I live my life on full so that when I leave this place, I die on E. I challenge you to do the same. I'm out.